DJ I shall kill it till love. This love when I wanna get another one, I go take and do it in I love. Waiting you love, oh. No be waiting I love, oh. Waiting I love, I go do what we done right, oh. Go no be vodka. Mr. Money Changer. But when I know the ways that Mr.
You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back where you really belong. You are always welcome home, welcome home. You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget you are welcome home, welcome home. Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land. On this happy trip back to the promised land.
Good evening, and I welcome you to another edition of Conversation Beyond Borders. We are streaming live on HYT African TV and across all social media platforms. Happy Easter to all of us out there. May you be safe and enjoy the holidays, but kindly join in the conversation for today and also invite a friend to invite a friend. Kindly like the button and share to all your loved ones out there, because today we are diving into one of the most critical issues facing diaspora communities, and this has to do with our immigration. And so, as we do it, we are going for a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, I'm going to introduce the guests of the show. Stay tuned.
That dream of studying and working abroad has been made much accessible to everyone, including you. So worry less about how you're going to get there, because we always make it happen. This is StepFinders Ghana Limited. We offer a highly professional guidance and support system, both in your university and visa application process. StepFinders Ghana Limited is a highly trusted agency of the University of the West of Scotland, one of the largest modern universities offering a range of academic, social, and sporting facilities. You can apply for undergraduate, master's and PhD in business and creative industries, education, social sciences, computing, engineering, physical sciences, health, and life sciences. Come through StepFinders, and for your studies, you get yourself a laptop or a £500 gift voucher. Call on +233 598 4888 04. WhatsApp on +44 7404 711 049. Send us an email or visit our website for more information.
Ebusia, sa woman sika ifi America memu akofidie enka ni se ja utipa ya kra. If you say Pay Angel ediasem panaba. Pay Angel se money sika fi America eko Ghana, Nigeria anase Kenya wasemantem. The money je ni kaso nkoko ane se o bridge me bia enka ho ena won san chia sika biara eka dia woman ne pe ho. Ani zero stress and no hidden charges. Yes, sign our rater a dance ankasa. Into what trending? Download the Pay Angel app nene or Google Play Store and also Apple Store. Then yes, you can win. Pay Angel, global payment, local simplicity.
Thank you for joining us and welcome back. So, joining us today is Mr. Jefferson Adofe. I hope I've got the name right. And he is a legal and immigration advisor at SNK Solicitors UK with hands on experience guiding clients through the complex immigration system. He brings practical insight into what works, what fails, and what immigrants must know. You are welcome, sir, and thanks for coming on Conversation Beyond Borders.
All right. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I appreciate so much. The name is Afodofe.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for
Very
the
much.
word. It's a lovely name. And
Yeah.
how are you enjoying the Easter?
Obviously, it's just normal, family time. And then before that, you are going on immigration program, so you have to go back to your notes a little bit because UK, every day everything changes.
That's right.
Yes.
So, for context sake, can you briefly introduce yourself and the role you play at SNK Solicitors?
All right. So my name is Jefferson Afadope. I have a first degree from University of Ghana, and I have a master's degree from Coventry University, and then I have another master's in cybersecurity, and then I entered law when I have to take the solicitor qualifying exams, and then after that I got an opportunity with SNK Law Solicitors to do my qualifying work experience. So along the line, I was given opportunity as a legal advisor. So this has been a journey, and it's been back and forth, but we have soldiers through, and then we're trying to break barriers in immigration. Yes.
Great. So if I can ask you, what drew you into immigration law and what has kept you committed to the field over the years?
Well, immigration, as is plain, it's not just by the work. People know if you talk about immigration, people are thinking about applying for visa and then you're waiting for the decision to come. But immigration is beyond application for visa, and then immigration is economics, immigration is business, immigration is family, immigration is everything that affects us, especially for people who are leaving their original countries into a different country. For example, if you come to this country as a skilled worker, apparently the company that sponsored you should be able to secure a sponsor license to be able to give you a certificate of sponsorship. So if the company's business is not able to meet the requirements of a sponsor license, then you will not even get a certificate of sponsorship. And people come into the system economically, they would have to pay monies for visa fees. And then the countries also complain of pressure on them because they have to make allowance for a lot of things. So economically, immigration is also having impact on a lot of countries. And family-wise, if you move to a different country alone and you have family elsewhere, all your wishes your family to join you, and if they are not able to join, it's going to impact your life. So basically, that is also another thing. So immigration is not based; it's just left with just what people think that let me apply for a visa and then let me go to a pastor for the pastor to pray for me, and somebody to just prophesy that the visa will be granted. It's beyond all these things.
Right. So, amongst all these, people migrate from one country to another. So, what are some of the common mistakes that they do when applying to come here, to come to the UK?
All right. So, common mistakes. Like I said earlier, immigration is not about application of visa alone. There's a lot of things that goes into it. For instance, if you are in Ghana and you want to relocate here, basically there should be a reason, especially when you are not a visitor. If you are a visitor, fine. It's just for a short period of time. But if you are moving here and you want to settle here, it takes beyond a visitor visa to be here. Either you are joining your partner as a family visa, or you are, you've gotten a certificate of sponsorship and you are coming on a work visa. So when people are applying for these visas, the basic thing is that you have to make sure that documents that you are presenting to the Home Office, I'm talking about UK, are very genuine, and you meet. Immigration is about law. It's a matter of law. Apart from all these things I've mentioned, economics, business, and any other thing, it's law. So the law states that if you are coming here as a visit, on a visit, you need 6 months back statement and 6 months payslip if you are working. Now, if you don't meet that and you want to fake it, it's going to cause you problem, and you might face 10 years banned and other repercussions. So, and then filling the form, people think that it's just normal. So they go and they are applying for something, and every question that is asked on that form, there is a reason they ask that question. So if you don't answer well, and you don't make sure that you explain where you are supposed to explain, because if you look at the UK applications, there are opportunities for you to explain what it is. If they ask a question that you are coming to visit somebody, who is the person to you? You have to explain. If you are getting a visit visa and they ask you that, have you been bounced visa before? Have you been rejected visa before? Yes. When did you experience this? What was the visa about? You have to put all those details. And some explanations are technical, but people make that mistakes, and then they want to do it by their own way, and then they miss it. So basic is inconsistencies in the form filling, the questions. If you read some of our caseworker, decisions, you realize that some people who go on their own way without consulting immigration advisors or solicitors do a lot of inconsistencies in terms of what the answers they give on the form. They present documents that does not, corroborate what they say on the form. So somebody, yes.
To hold you there, is it lack of information, or is it poor advice in filling the forms?
Okay, so it's poor advising, to be honest. And then when you have poor advising and lack of information, I can put all of them together, because first of all, if you are doing it alone and you think that you can read and write, so you can just fill the form, it's very dangerous. If you are being advised, who is advising you? In what capacity is the person advising you? Mm-hmm. Is he a travel agent? Is the person a solicitor? Is the person an immigration advisor? In this country, solicitors go to immigration when they happen to have that background. But there is what we call Immigration Advice Authority that regulates immigration advisors. So if you go to somebody and based on, we have done it this way before, so this person is just an agent, it's going to cause problems. So that's some of the issues people face. Yes.
Okay. So I still want to ask, so do you think the system is complex for the average person to navigate?
Yes. To be honest, the system is a bit complex, to be honest. The UK immigration system is not, every day the rules are subject to frequent changes. Right. So, and then the UK is not a country that has a written constitution like Ghana. So when today there's a law, they change it tomorrow. If you are not abreast of the issues, you would be having issues. Because, for instance, this just last week, up to get into next week, there will be changes in the visa application fee. So if you are paid, let's say £120 for a visit visa, from next week, it's going to change.
Can you give us some of the quotes of this year's?
Yes, of course. Because it just came up, right. Sometimes we try to get all the overview.
Okay, so because I saw
some of them is just £5 increase. Some of them is just £20. Some of them astronomically. So first of all, you have to be abreast of the issues. especially with the changes that comes. It's sporadic. It just happens all of a sudden. For instance, we are in an environment where there are new changes coming in every time. For instance, from this year, January, if you are applying for a skilled worker visa, the English requirement has changed because they've taken all the lower skills in the skilled worker distance. So now it's regulated qualified framework 6. And then you have to get A1 from January if you are not already on a skilled worker, or and you are not, your TOS is not issued before the 22nd of July 2025. So everything changes and makes the things complex. Now, you are not an expert, so I don't think you should go worry yourself. If you want to do, then make yourself an expert and go and take the whole updates. But if you are not an expert, I always advise people to seek immigration advisors, advice, or solicitors to be able to, go through these things. Yes.
Right. The question is not the seeking that is the problem, but there's this growing perception that some immigration advisors kind of exploit vulnerable immigrants financially. And so that is the fear. What's your response to that? Because some of the fees they charge and all of that.
So
high.
So the issue is, when you come to my law firm, my senior will tell you that if you see a consultation fee for 45 minutes to be 200 pounds, your mindset is like, oh, this is too much. But the issue is, I don't know, the roadmap to become a solicitor in this country is not easy. Now, if somebody is an immigration advisor, it means you are regulated by Immigration Advice Authority. Okay, in all these things, there are regulations that guide our fees and our conduct as solicitors or immigration advisors. So if you are, my firm is SRA regulated, Solicitors Regulation Authority, regulates the firm. The fees, is very much guided and regulated. Everything you are doing, especially in terms of, compliance, you must follow. Now, apart from that, we have something we call professional indemnity insurance. So that if you take a case to a lawyer and the lawyer is not able to do what you expect, and the negligence is on the part of the lawyer, you can, be compensated because they have professional indemnity insurance, which caters for you. The fees they charge you, they are supposed to refund the fees to you. So it is not something that, you can just go and say, if the person is not regulated, that's why you find a problem. But if you are regulated, you follow the guidelines. In any case, if a lawyer, takes advantage of you, or, anything, you know the way. If you go to SRA, they know what to do. There's so much avenues for you to be able to claim whatever it is that you think you've gone. Because basic of our practice is about, fiduciary to our clients. Like, we stand in for them. Everything about them is our tax. So when you come, you sign a letter of authority. Okay, you said we should apply for a family's visa for you. Okay, then we send you an official email. We need these documents from you. This and this and this is what we are going to do for you. This is our fees. This is the fees you pay to Home Office. Now, after you've read all these emails, you come back to us and sign the letter of authority before we start. And when you sign the letter of authority, you instruct us. The instruction is that you pay. After that, anything that we do, we engage you. If the ineptitude is from the lawyer, you have a lot of avenues to take the lawyer on. And the lawyer will be found wanting, because in this country, the law is their God. So you can't go scot-free if you flout the laws. Yes.
Thank you for your submission. Now, there is this trendy issue, is a hot cake here in the UK. But there are concerns around traveling outside the UK, even for people with UK-issued documents or passports. Please, can you kindly walk us through what is really happening, because you are there as an immigration officer?
Okay, so the issue is that if it comes to people who hold passports here, Traveling to any other place, first of all, you have to know whether you deserve, you need a visa or you don't need. For example, if you hold a British passport and you are going to Ghana, you need a visa in the visit passport before you can go to Ghana. But there are other countries you don't need a visa. You just do, we call something electronic travel authorization. So you just apply online and get that certificate, and then you can travel. Now, recently, the UK also has brought this same thing, that if you are having a particular, passport from other countries and you are coming here, you need to go through these processes in terms of acquiring this electronic travel authorization to be able to get into this country. But the issue is that, unlike other countries which are very strict on acquisition of 2 passports, UK, there is that, flexibility. So if, for example, your background is like you have parents that are original Ghanaians, you are eligible for a Ghanaian passport. You have Ghanaian passport, and then you have UK passport. So when you are going to Ghana, a lot of my friends, they came here originally, they were not having UK passport. When they got the UK passport, they still have Ghana passport. When they are going, they don't want to go take visa in the Ghana passport. So in their British passport. So they go with Ghana passport to Ghana. And when they are coming back, then they use their British passport. And a lot of them do. Hello?
Is it a bad thing?
No. In UK, it's not a bad thing, to be honest. There is nobody who I came in contact with that went to Ghana with this particular thing and then they stop you and say, no. Because in America, it could be a problem. Recently, they said that you couldn't do that because if you have American passport, they don't expect you to have another passport, dual citizenship. They don't accept that. But the UK, that is allowed because, a lot of people do that, and it's very clear. There's no issue about that. As far as you can show that you're entitled to a Ghana passport, and then you can go to Ghana with it, fine. It's allowed. So there's no problem about that.
Okay, so what is this re-entry issue as well, even if you have the British P?
All right, so I think it's all about the e-visa kind of thing, and then the electronic travel authorization issue. Okay. There are people who came into this country, they are on a family visa. So they give them 2.5 years, 5 years, and then they qualify. Now, during that period, if you are traveling, you sign up for e-visa. So you are not yet having a UK passport. Now, when you get the UK passport, and then you want to travel, depending on where you are going, you need to do what is right. But the electronic listen is not mostly about people who have British passport. It's more about people who are not yet having the British passport and have a kind of leave here, and then people who want to come into the country with a different kind of passport. And the process is very, depending on what you hold, it's a little bit, straightforward, but yes, it's straightforward. So please, if you have a UK passport and you are traveling somewhere and you are coming, it's just a new thing. People are not aware. And so that is why, it keeps coming. But if you take the chance, it's just an easy way. You go online and then you pass through the process, which is very straightforward, and you'll be able to figure it out. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Dear listeners, let's go for a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we will talk about the human impact of immigration. Stay tuned.
Very well.
Afi bia mu no nipa mpempem a ewo akwantwom ema ne sika ba fie bia niema bi te se adansi ayaresa hoka adesua hoka efie sikatua aware hoka ena eyie ene de keka ho nanso oha kese ewo we mu ni kwan ben so na wo fa hu se botaye nti a wo ma ne sika no ye de ye sa wo ma ne sika afa obi so de di sa adwuma we nam ne taaya yem hihie pa etoda eche na ahotoso bia eni so we enti na Pay Angel eden hihie so nko aba sika manim a yeto ne din direct to merchant remittance ye twa ne tia D2MR we ya kwampa a obetimi afa so ama ne sika edi ama ndwumako a wo ne won di dwuma wɔ abra ɛmfa ɔdasani anaa ntɛmgyinani biara nsɛm na wakɔdi wo sika. Wobɛtumi afa D2MR so ama ne sika ama wadɔfoɔ. Saa nhyehyɛeɛ yi so boa ndwumakuo nketewa no paa. Wɔ D2MR so no, wo sikatua yɛ mprempren. Yɛngye wo hwee. Yɛma wo abotɔyɛm sɛ wo sika ɛrekɔ bea a ɛwɔ sɛ ɛkɔ na ɛkɔdi dwuma a ɛwɔ sɛ ɛdi. Pay Angel D2MR aba masikamania ayɛ memremre ɛsiane sɛ ɛmfa ho biam ne bia wowɔ anaa adwumakuo a wo ne ɔmudi nsa wɔ so no ɛwɔ. Yɛyi ntɛmgyinafoɔ nyina firi hɔ na yɛama wadi dwa na wamma ne sika ntɛm so ne ahotɔsoɔ mu. Hwehwɛ Pay Angel akyiri akwan ɛwɔ Google Play Store anaa Apple Store. Tua mo direct. Meka sɛ Pay Angel a na wagye so sɛ global payments, local simplicity.
Thanks for staying with us and welcome back. So, sir, without breaking confidentiality, can you tell us a case that's had a strong personal impact on you?
To be honest, for me as an immigration advisor, every day I have a lot of cases that come in ways that impact me, because the feeling is the impact is very in terms of our client. For example, a client came here on a charity visa, and he has about some few weeks to the visa expiration, and then he went together to do what we call a fee waiver application, and the client is here with the wife and children. Now, the issue is, first of all, he just consulted some people, and then we can do a fee waiver, and that's what people say. I'll be talking more about that later.
Yeah.
Okay, so he apparently was rejected for the fee waiver, and then when you are rejected, the Home Office gives you 10 working days to apply for FFLR. We call it further leave to remain. And this person contacted us that, they've rejected it. I don't know what to do. And I said, okay. At the time he called, it was, I think, the last day. Like somebody told him, this is the last day. So when we calculated, apparently it's the last day. Then I told him that for further leave to remain, each person is going to cost them 3,900 pounds for each. And this is a family of 4. Man, wife, and 2 kids. So how much is he going to raise?
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Now, at the time that this thing happened, he said he was going to raise the money. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to help you to apply it. Apparently, he couldn't get the money. It was almost, when you're in the office, almost about 11 something, just to make sure that he gets the money, and we just go online, do the application. Yeah. So first of all, we took every details. We got to where you will pay. And then the guy brought a card. We tried. It wasn't working. We said, then later on, he said it has been blocked. The money has been blocked. Then before we realized everything, he can't do any transaction, and the money was in that card that was blocked. So all these 4 family members, by law, has become overstays. So everything about them is now changed. If you overstay one day in this country, it's different. It's a different issue, especially if you are not alone. That's very, very much of something that touched me, because I don't know, we were willing to do everything. Now, in any case, you should know how to go about this, even if you know that, you see, but I don't know what happened. We were so disturbed. It was recently. So it's a different story. So it's something that impacted me. It's not even up to 2 weeks. It's serious, and you are asking now of what we can do, and there's nothing you can do. If you check, if after that, the Home Office, they are the thing is, if it is this is it. So it's very worrying. And as people who want to provide solutions, we just employ people that if it comes to issue like this, please seek the appropriate advice, and we know how to go about it.
in
Yes,
time.
yes,
In
in
time,
time.
yeah.
Yes.
Now, can we go through the issues with like the fee waiver that you were talking about?
All right.
The
So,
FR
I'm going to speak about some issues that coming up, and then the mistakes our people are doing in terms of you know this visa issue. For example, if somebody's visa is about to end, maybe Home Office has written to you that you should leave the country in 60 days, and maybe is getting to an end. Then somebody will come and say, "Oh, somebody has done an extension for me, so I've done an extension." To be honest, let me be very clear. What is an extension? If, for example, I'm on a skilled worker visa, healthcare category, and my employer or my sponsor, after 3 years, issues an extension for me, that we can call it extension.
Okay.
If I finish my postgraduate visa and I go and do fee waiver application, and then I say I have done extension, it is not an extension. Let me explain things. If
Okay.
if I'm in this country on a healthcare visa, and then my employer is not giving me job, we don't have a lot of job, and I get a different sponsor, the technical term is that I am updating my COS to a new sponsor. We call it update. Now, if I have come in as a student and I'm moving from a student route to a skilled worker healthcare category, then I'm switching my visa. So there's a difference between a switch, an extension, and an update of visa. So if you are on a student visa, your student visa is about to end, and then you said, "Oh, I've gotten an extension. I don't know which extension." So what people do is that they first of all go and do a fee waiver application. And let me tell you, fee waiver application is just a prelude to human rights applications. So if I'm doing a fee waiver application, I'm doing a fee waiver application only to tell Home Office that I cannot afford the fees. So I want to apply for family visa. I want to apply for as a parent of a British child. I don't work. I don't have any means of finance. So I want to our Home Office to waive the fees. Now, when you do a fee waiver as a prelude to a human rights application or further leave to remain, you are not doing any application to go anywhere. A further leave to remain application is just for you to have a temporary stay in this country because it's discretionary. It's not any visa category. So when somebody does FLR and says that I've extended my stay, it is not, because it doesn't lead to it. I'll give examples. So if you came to this country and then maybe you are doing your course and then you couldn't finish and you have some exams to write, you can apply on the basis of the fact that the school want to give you a further distance so that you can finish writing your paper. Or you came here, you are supposed to leave the country, but you are very sick, Article 3, on the basis of medical grounds. You can apply for further leave to remain so that they give you some time to while await time whilst you take care of yourself. Okay, you came here with your spouse and unfortunately your spouse dies. You apply for on a human rights application, Home Office should grant you some stay. These are the reasons you can temporarily apply for FRR. Now, somebody will go and do fee waiver application. First of all, if you are given the fee waiver application or if it's accepted, they will give you a token. And that token, you use it to apply for the FLR without paying any fees. Now, if they don't give you the token, if it's rejected, the Home Office gives you 10 working days to apply for FLR. Now, there are people who go and apply for fee waiver, and then they are rejected. Then they will go and apply for another fee waiver again. There is something we call at Immigration Act 1971. You call it Section 3C leave. Immediately you do fee waiver, you have Section 3C leave. So you are allowed to stay in the country until a decision comes. Now, when you are rejected and you go and apply for field waiver again, you lose that Section 3C leave. So your leave will expire because the basics of the field waiver is for a human rights application. So immediately they reject you, 10 working days, you have to go apply for FLR. And the issue too is somebody will say, oh, I've done field waiver and I've gotten a COS. So I want to just apply for my COS because they've given me a COS. So you cannot. Field waiver application is a prelude to human rights application. If you do a field waiver and it's not yet decision is not yet in, and you have a COS, what you do is to wait. You wait. You make sure that the field waiver is decided whether you are given a token or not. When they give you a token or not, you apply for the FLR. When you go and do the biometrics, then you can vary. We call something validation and variation. We can do what we call variation application for you so that you now apply for your skilled worker. But if you don't have a decision from the field waiver and you just go ahead to apply for your skilled worker, you have not finished what you started the field waiver for. So your application will be void.
Right.
And when it is void, you lose your Section 3C leave. So this is what we are seeing people go through every day. And then it gets to a point where they are so stranded.
Yeah.
So please, every application you are doing, you must finish that process before you can do variation. If you don't finish and you want to do variation, somebody say, oh, I will withdraw the field waiver. Immediately you withdraw, you lose your Section 3C leave. Because that Section 3C leave only just means that when you make an application to the Home Office, you are allowed to stay in the country pending the decision of the application. So it is very, very sad that people are going through this and it's causing a lot of problems. Now, I don't know whether you want to come in. I want to talk about another thing too that is happening.
Oh yeah, I've given you the floor.
Okay. So another thing that is happening too is that people came to this country and then, you know, that thing that is there is that, oh, I am pregnant, so I want somebody to come and sign for the child. So they will get pregnant, and then so somebody should, when I'm going to give birth, somebody will sign for the child so that I can get my child will be a British, and then if my child is a British, then
the person.
yes, please. Home Office is revoking British passport of children in these circumstances, and then if you were on your period, your child for that, they will revoke yours too. Why? You see, if you come here as a skilled worker and you are married, you know, British nationality at 1981, the father of a child is the one who is married to the mother at the time of birth. It's very clear. So a woman knows who the father of the child is. And you can only be a British if either party is settled or is a British. Now, when these things happen, the Home Office, they know. So somebody's birth certificate, the person initially was called Kwame Ntumi. Then he will make somebody who has a surname of, what's the name? Maybe Ansah. So they will now put, let's say my name Jeff Kweku Ntumi Ansah. And then they are looking at this.
We have names like that.
Yes. Now, when that happens, first of all, they will not question, but continuously, they are realizing that people are taking advantage of the situation. Now, if you are married here and then you give birth and you are saying that somebody else came to sign, first of all, if you are still married and somebody comes to sign, that person cannot get British passport for your child. The only way that is possible is if the person divorces before the one sign for you. So assuming you are on a skilled worker visa, in the system you are married, then you give birth and you ask somebody to come and sign for your child. That you cannot get it because that person signing, you are already married somewhere. That person signing cannot get you the this thing on it. Now, the British nationality regulation brought something we call proof of paternity. So the 2006, the regulation 2000 as amended 2015 talks about who a father is. Now, I want viewers to listen. A father of a child is the one, first of all, who is married to the mother at the time of birth. 2, they brought a different definition and introduced what we call natural father. So the natural father of a child, okay, so by the human embryonic law, you are the one who gave birth to the child. Now, the proof of paternity regulation 3A also talks about the one whose name is on the child birth certificate in the first year of birth. So if you give birth and the birth certificate shows that I'm the one who has the name in the first year, fine. But subsequently, when they amended the law, they brought in something. It said, even if your name appears on that birth certificate as the father, because you signed, they are not going to look at only that one. You have to convince the Secretary of State that you are the natural father. In the natural father, you have to give us corroborating evidence that when the person was pregnant, there's proof of address that the two of you were staying together. The red book, were there records of the red book that shows that you were taking her to the hospital and all those things? So the birth certificate is necessary, but it's not sufficient. Now, you cannot just base on the birth certificate and get what? Your child that somebody has signed for. Mostly you will say, oh, I went out of my husband's back and somebody, no. There is more things you have to show. So when they realize that you don't have those things, they are even calling people to do DNA. Of course, DNA is not compulsory. It's not mandatory. So, of course, because the person who has given birth knows who. The mother knows that is this man that has given. So they don't want it to do, because the definition of a father is not biological all the time. They say that if you are a father of a child, you are the one who is married to the mother at the time of birth.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So
Right.
this is another thing that is happening. So people must be very careful. If you come and then somebody says, I want to sign for your child, it's very, very serious now. They will revoke everything. And then, so if you give me the chance, I'll talk about the last one.
Yes,
That
go
is
on.
also happening. Now,
Go on.
people came here and then they want to divorce. And then they want to marry again. Now, what we are realizing is that some people came to this country with ordinance marriage certificate. And then when they come after some time, they said, oh, okay, we are going to divorce. So they will go and divorce. And they said they want to go and bring somebody else from Ghana or something. No problem. It's very possible. Now, they submit the divorce certificate. So somebody came here, ordinance marriage. But the divorce certificate that the person sends to you for you to do application is a dissolution, which is for customary marriage. Now, if you use that, it's straight refusal. So they will go and contact people in Ghana, and then they will do what we call dissolution for it. Then I'll ask you, I want to see the marriage certificate that you used to come to this country. When they submit it, you realize that this is ordinance marriage. And ordinance marriage, you cannot use the customary dissolution to as a divorce certificate for ordinance marriage. The only a body that can divorce you is a court.
Sorry to hold you.
Yes.
To hold you there.
Yes.
Is customary marriage not recognized here?
So I'll talk about that. So it's recognized. So I'll talk about that. So what I mean is that I'm talking about divorce. People are presenting. You see, when you marry customary and you don't want it again, you call something dissolution.
Okay.
So that one is not done by the court. So customary marriage is family getting married to you. When you finish, you can register it. It's potentially polygamous, so that's no problem. But if you want to dissolve that marriage, it's dissolution. You don't go to court. Now, when you marry ordinance, it's only a court that can separate you people. So the divorce must come from a competent court of jurisdiction. So divorce of ordinance marriage is only a court that can break it down. So people are submitting. What I mean is that people are submitting the documents of dissolution, which is for customary marriages, as a divorce certificate for ordinance. That's what I mean.
Right. I understand.
That's first. Two, Now, when they want to do, recently, Home Office has been rejecting customary marriages. We had some issues and then they reject. Then we came back. We wrote a strong cover letter to the Home Office because in Ghana, we have 3 types of marriages: customary marriages, ordinance, and then Mohammedan. Now, if a marriage is legal and is accepted in a country, it's supposed to be accepted in UK. Now, if you look at Yaote versus Kwe, read Keviat Sakite, Clara Sakite, you know, all those things, Justice Oloenu's essentials. If I'm here and I ask my uncle to go and marry somebody for me in Ghana, it's acceptable, customarily. I don't need to be there in person. Even though proxy marriages are not allowed in the UK, customary marriages are legal in Ghana. You can marry somebody without you being there because we know our tradition and it is allowed. You can marry somebody and then they'll go take the drinks. As far as those essentials are done, you are married. So if you register that customary marriage and present it as a document for the purposes of immigration, it's supposed to be admitted because it is legal in our country. For example, when I came here several years ago, I married in Ghana. But when I presented it, my wife joined me because it was regular in Ghana, it was legal. So as far as the thing is legal in Ghana, it must be accepted here. So they rejected 1 or 2, and then when we wrote, we quoted a decided case of Kujo, where the upper tribunal was very clear that marriages by customary in Ghana are legal, especially when they are accepted in the origin where it has been contracted and it's legal there. Then it must be accepted there. And it's very clear. It's a binding this thing in law, Kujo, proxy marriages. So subsequently, you know, I don't know, experienced caseworkers, they won't have a problem because they know it's very legal. We've not been having that issues again because it's been accepted now. So what I want to tell my people is that there's a lot of things that are going on, and every day when we hear decisions, we just want to give them heads up and tell them that you should consult the appropriate authority when it comes to some of these things.
Thank you, Mr. Jeff. That's quite educational. Dear viewers, let's go for another commercial break. And then when we come back, we will talk about diaspora focus. Stay tuned.
All right. Thank you.
That dream of studying and working abroad has been made much accessible to everyone, including you. So worry less about how you're going to get there because we always make it happen. This is StepFinders Ghana Limited. We offer a highly professional guidance and support system, both in your university and visa application process. StepFinders Ghana Limited is a highly trusted agency of the University of the West of Scotland, one of the largest modern universities offering a range of academic, social, and sporting facilities. You can apply for undergraduate, master's and PhD in business and creative industries, education, social sciences, computing, engineering, physical sciences, health, and life sciences. Come through StepFinders, and for your studies, you get yourself a laptop or a £500 gift voucher. Call on +233 598 4888 04. WhatsApp on +44 7404 711 049. Send us an email or visit our website for more information.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So, Mr. Jeff, what are some of the challenges that we, the Africans in the diaspora, face compared to other groups?
Well, the issue is that we are so, the whole system in the diaspora is so saturated that we are so quick to accept what somebody posts and somebody is talking about. For example, we are all aware.
Hello, Mr. Jeff. Hello. Hello, can you hear me? Right.
We are all aware of issues about our immigration status in this country in terms of what's, is being policies and all those things. That people in the diaspora are all about, oh, somebody has done it this way, or so I heard it for somebody. And then it becomes, a lot of, people are feeling jittery. People don't want to, go to the appropriate places for advice. That's one of the issues we face. And two, we always want to, abuse the system in terms of this social media. When there's an issue and you don't know what it is, if you are not having authority over the issue, I don't think you should go and give misinformation to people, because it's very, very, very bad. We realize that people are picking up positions as immigration advisors, and then and the people don't even verify, and that's it. For example, there's something that is going on, and people are getting a lot of. For example, if you are on a care visa, and then you were not on it before the March of 2024, where they say you can't add a dependent to a care visa. If you go and apply, maybe you came here as a student and you go and apply, you will be refused. Because you see, in law, we call something generale specialibus non derogant. If there is a general law and they bring a specific law, the specific law overrides the general law. So there has been a general law who says that you can add a dependent. So if you are not already on a skilled worker visa or health category, where you can just update or extend, and you finish school, and then you get COS now, it's healthcare, 6135, or the senior healthcare 61, you will be refused. So people say, oh, no, we are in the country already. Meanwhile, you were not on it. You just finished school. But there's a way. You apply for your visa, you get it, the person main applicant. Then we can do what we call a human rights application for you to join your partner, but not on the dependent care visa category. If you do that, you'll be refused. So people say these things, and and it becomes so much of. So basically, what I want the diaspora community to do is that we are all people who are a bit enlightened, and so we should get information from authentic sources. And then we should also try to read on authentic news sources so that we not be jittery and we not make certain mistakes. And we also get advice from the appropriate regulated people. Because, for example, there's speculations that the ILR for skilled workers will be changed from 5 years to 10 years. Now, the last news that we got was that there's some, concessions that is going to come on, because Angela Rema also made criticisms about the things being unfair and all those things. As it stands now, they have not concluded on anything. So nobody should say that they've changed the law to 10 years. But everybody said, oh, we'll call you, they are changing the law. Let me give an example. In 2006, a group of migrants came here. We call it the High Skill Migrant Program. And then when it came, they told them that in 4 years' time, they will give them ILR. And then just into the journey, they said, no, we will increase it to 5 years. So they took the Secretary of State. So it's a very popular case. So they took the case to the High Court in 2006. So it's High Skill Migrant Forum versus the Secretary of State. And the High Court was very clear. It was explicit in the decision that the people came here. There's something we call in law legitimate expectation. They have legitimate expectations that within this period of time, we will get this. And along the line, you became unfair. There's no consistency. And for the UK people to be taken serious, there must be consistency on public institutions so that their work will be taken seriously in subsequent policy programs. So the High Court will not look at any politics, and they threw their case, and then the people won the case. So they didn't have to do the 5 years. They took to the 4 years. Now, if there is any retrospective application of the law, it will be challenged. I can tell my people. The UK is very strong. Their parliament is very strong. They can do everything. But their law is their law. So there is a precedent, stare decisis, that this has happened before. And this was what it is. So we are following cautiously to see what to do in the instances that are going to follow. But as of now, there isn't anything that has come up and says that the paper has published 10 years, so people should. So This is things. There are things that are happening, and I want people to just tap it cool. Don't be tensed about the situation. And then the diaspora, we are people that we are so much family based. So everybody is concerned about everybody. But let's calm down, and that's when the right things come out, the communicate, it will be communicated well, and we'll also explain to our clients.
Thank you. I wanted to say this. I know that you've spoken a lot about the diaspora and everything, and I know you've said certain things that I have made my note. But for viewers' sake, can you tell us, apart from the misinformations we post on social media, how can we better ourselves or educate ourselves to avoid any legal pitfalls?
Very well. So first of all, if you are working with if you want a legal advice, I told you that I work for S&K Law Solicitors. If you go online, first of all, you have to go and check whether this firm is regulated by SRA. Okay, so if somebody says I am an immigration advisor and I work here, go and check whether the person's firm, because you see, when you work in a firm, the professional indemnity covers you, everything. So whether this firm the person is working, okay, you can go beyond and go to the firm. I've met this person who says he's a legal advisor from S&K. He doesn't work here. Can he represent you? And that is second one. First one, you go to SRA to check whether this firm is regulated. Two, you came to the company. This person works with you. Is it somebody who works with you? Can we trust him? Fine. Two, three, you go to the company. My company is located in Dartford, near the train station. Come to the office and you meet people so that at least you know who you are dealing with. You sign a letter of authority. You know that there's something binding the two of you, that I've given this and you are coming to do this for me. There will be official emails so that you don't just stand and somebody would go and take your money. There's an issue. Somebody says he's an immigration advisor. He took a lot of money from somebody. The decision came of refusal, EU application. The person didn't even send the decision to the client after 2 years. And when the client came, I said, what? So we want the decision. Now the client has to go to that person who said he's an immigration advisor. Then we have to write that we need the decision to be able to start from where that before the person sent the decision to the client. And how can you
can something be done to
yes,
the lawyer, the said
yes.
lawyer?
So that person, whichever this thing is regulating you, whether it's the SRA or Immigration Advice Authority, it must be reported. It's against professional conduct. When you receive a decision and you know that the decision is not good, you tell the person or that, oh, they have received, and you receive it, the person didn't know over 2 years. And this is very sad. So immediately that person, I am not supposed to tell you to report, but you must know that this is not so very good and that person must be reported. So first of all, do your checks, due diligence, know who you are dealing with, deal with people who are regulated. Unregulated people will take your money and they cannot be chased. If a lawyer is regulated by SRA or works with a firm and there's any problem, he's making an application for you and there's anything in terms of that person's ineptitude or anything, the professional indemnity insurance of the firm is going to cover the person and your money will be paid back to you. But if you go, somebody say, I know this person is a lawyer, you don't know where the person stays, you don't know why, you have problem. And sometimes it becomes worse off. So please, this is just an advice I'll give to my people. Make sure that you do checks, due diligence, know who you are dealing with. Make sure that you just don't swallow everything hook, line, and sinker. Make sure that whatever you are doing, you make and sure that you're not just receiving information that you don't verify. There's something we call asymmetrical information. Somebody tells you something, you the same time without verification, you are just trying to push that information to people, and it becomes a very bad thing.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you. So I just want to give you the opportunity you've told us about your company, that is S&K Solicitors. So I don't know if you've told us where you are located. What are some of the services you offer apart from immigration, and what sets your firm apart?
All right. So my firm SAK Law Solicitors is
And
located
can you
in
leave
that.
your phone number as well in case
Yes,
somebody wants to reach out?
yes. So SAK Law Solicitors is located at Dartford. Just when you get to the Dartford in Kent, if you get to the Dartford train station, we are in a building called the Crown Gardens, Beast Point. We are in, yes. So we into a lot of services. We provide immigration and asylum, family, divorce, custody, defamation, privacy, and harassment. We do litigation, corporate and commercial law. We do, internet and cyber crime law. If you have a company that you have issues with e-crime, and then you want us to do litigation, or we want to, if you know, have issues with custody of your child, if you want to do affidavits, if you so there's a lot of services, commercial litigation and asylum. Our senior partners are specialists in asylum cases. They're able to handle it very well. Well, my senior partner is also a very good. It has authority. If you are a business, you want to apply for sponsor license, I think that we can say we have authority if it comes to sponsor license application and compliance. So these are some of the things we do. What puts us on a competitive edge? There's a lot of lawyers on law firms in this country, and what I want to say is that everything you are doing, we tell our clients that they are our billboards. So when we do a case for you, we don't advertise. You advertise for us. We recently, I was talking to a client, and then the client called the auntie, and the auntie said, "Oh, where do you work?" And I said, "I work as SNK solicitors." He said, "Oh, do you know lawyer? This." I said, "Yes." Oh, he did he did an application for me. He was successful. So the conversation didn't even end, and then credibility is built. So of course, we try to our main aim is customer focus. Before I became somebody working in immigration practice, I always did business development and customer service in several over 10 years. So the law is all about customers. If you have a solution for them, that is when you are in business. So we are all about satisfying customers. That's what makes us different. Because we believe that anybody we lose, we are going to lose about more than 10 people when we lose one person. So we are customer focused, and we believe that we say what we say we can do for you. And that's our competitive.
Thank
Yeah,
you
yes.
very much. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go for a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we will wrap up. Stay tuned.
Pero,
ebusua sɛ woma ne sika efi America man mu akɔ fie deɛ ɛnka ni sɛ gya wo tipa yɛ koraa ɛfiri sɛ Pay Angel ɛde asɛmpa naba. Pay Angel sɛ ma ne sika fi America ɛkɔ Ghana, Nigeria anaasɛ Kenya wɔsema ntɛm. Deɛ ma ne yie nika so nkɔkɔa ne sɛ ɔbrɛ dwuma biara ɛnka ho ɛna wonsan kyerɛ sika biara ɛka deɛ woma ne pɛ ho. Ani, zero stress and no hidden charges. Yes, sign our rates are a dance ankasa. Into what trend download the Pay Angel app on or Google Play Store and also Apple Store. Then yes, you come on your way. Pay Angel, global payments, local simplicity.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. So today's conversation reminds us that immigration is more than a process. It is a journey that shapes life, families, and futures. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Jeff, for educating us and also shedding more light on what so many people struggle to understand. And as you know, this is Conversation Beyond Borders, where your story, your questions, and your voice truly matters. Continue to enjoy the Easter break and have a good night. See you same time next week.
You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back where you really belong. You are always welcome home, welcome home. You've been kept down for much too long.